video is to confirm that yes, Chanel is indeed hitting us with yet another price increase. And so I've been hustling to try and collect all the information and film this video and get it out as soon as possible. So that way you have all the information and you can decide if there's anything that you want to try and scramble to get before the price increase goes into effect. So when is it happening? The price increase is going into effect on November 3rd. So you have until then to make your decision about if you want to get any of your wish list bags before then. Now, typical to past price increases that we've had, for those of you that are keeping track, yes, this is the third price increase that Chanel has had in 2021, which is absolutely insane, like honestly. We can talk about my thoughts after we go through all the details, but spoiler alert, I think it's freaking nuts and I'm tired of it. Like, Chanel needs to chill. But like past price increases, the price increases predominantly affect Chanel's classic styles. So your classic flaps, your reissues, the boy bag, the Gabrielle. And some people say this is a classic bag, some people say it isn't. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, it is affected by price increases because it is one of Chanel's most popular styles right now. That is the Chanel 19 bag. That will also be a part of this price increase. Now, in terms of details, let's start out with like what a lot of you all are here to hear about, and that is the classic flaps. So, I've been told that the mini is not included in this price increase, even though the mini is not technically a classic flap. A lot of people kind of lump it in with that line. Sometimes like the mini is kind of like the wild card that like sometimes it gets it, sometimes it doesn't. But the good news is that the mini oftentimes is subject to far less of a price increase relative to the other bags. So I think last time the minis went up by about $400. So if the mini is included, you could probably expect anywhere from like a $300 to $500 price increase, which I mean is still significant, but not nearly as prohibitive as the price increases as some of these other bags. So in terms of like the smallest classic flap, that is the small classic flap, this bag will be going from the already very high price of $7,100 all the way up to $8,200. That's right, this bag is increasing by $1,100. And I just want to put that into perspective. For y'all that have watched the unboxing, and I'll link it for you, this classic flap is from 2005, and it was purchased from Bloomingdale's for just under $1,500. So it's like they're increasing it by the original price of the bag. Not the original, but at least the price that it was back in 2005. It's crazy. So the new price of the small classic flap is $8,200. So it's getting about a 15% price increase. Now, next up, we have the medium classic flap. So this bag currently sells for $7,800, and it is going to be going up all the way to $8,800. So this bag is increasing by just $1,000, or just under 13%, which is still crazy, honestly. Next up, the jumbo classic flap is going from $8,500, also increasing by $1,000, so it will now be $9,500 after the price increase goes into effect, and that's like an 12% price increase. And then finally, the maxi size. I mean, this one really blows my mind. I mean, it's already crazy expensive at $9,200, and this bag is going all the way up from $9,200 to $10,000. This is a $10,000 bag, which is insane. So it's going up by less than 10%, but you know, about $800. So pretty notable increases all across the board for classic flaps. And to make it easy on us, Chanel is going to be applying the same types of price increases as they did to the classic flaps, also to reissues. So the small reissue is going to be following the same price increase as a medium classic flap. So the small reissue is going to be going from $7,800 all the way up to $8,800. Next up, the medium reissue is going to be following the same price increase as a jumbo classic flap. So it is going to go from $8,500 all the way up to $9,500. And then the jumbo reissue is going to follow that same pricing structure as the maxi classic flap. So it is going to be going from $9,200 all the way up to $10,000. That is nuts. And I'm surprised that they're still able to charge that for the reissue, honestly. Because I love the reissue. It's a style that I would like to have in my closet, but I'm surprised that people are willing to pay the same amount for a reissue and a classic flap. But clearly they are, because like I've said this before in many videos, like a lot of people are saying that Chanel's doing all these price increases and they're losing money, but like Chanel is a business, honey. Chanel would not do anything to negatively affect their business. And clearly they are still making a ton of money. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing these price increases. If they caused them to lose revenue, they would not still be doing them. So clearly it's working for them, and clearly that reissue is selling. Now, I know not so many of you are interested in like the Gabrielle or the boy bag, so we can skip those. So I will link below for you the purse forum thread about the price increase, so you can take a look into the boy bag and the Gabrielle for those of you that are interested in it. But I did want to talk about the Chanel 19. The Chanel 19 has become a core style in Chanel's collection. And I mean, certain colors of that bag are just as hard, if not harder to find than some classic flaps. So the Chanel 19 is definitely going to be going through a price increase too. Now I will say, the prices that we talked about for the classic flaps and the reissues were 100% confirmed. Those are the prices that they are going to be come November 3rd. But the price increases for the Chanel 19 haven't been confirmed. So I did some analysis on like, past price increases, the current price increases that we know are going to be happening. And I've projected out what I reasonably believe that the Chanel 19 is going to cost once the price increase goes into effect. Now, this will be like plus or minus like $100 or $200. So like, don't freak out if I'm like slightly off, but generally these are the prices that we can reasonably expect the Chanel 19 bag to be. So first off, the small size, which currently sells for $5,700, I think is going to be increasing to right around $6,500. So just around 14% or $800. Now, the medium or large Chanel 19 size, like people call it different, like depending on who you're talking to, I think that bag is gonna go from $6,300 all the way up to like $7,100, $7,200, so about an $800-900 increase, and again, right around 14%. And then finally, the biggest Chanel 19 bag, the maxi size, I think is going to go from $6,900 all the way up to $7,800, so also a $900 increase, or 13%. So the funny thing is that even though the Chanel 19 is being significantly impacted by these price increases, if you are into the Chanel 19, relatively speaking, it is a bargain. So I would say if you've had a Chanel 19 bag on your wish list, go ahead and try and get it either right now or right after the price increase, because relative to classic flaps and reissues, the Chanel 19 is a way better deal, and it's a beautifully crafted like all leather bag. So I think it's like actually a really good value for money if it's your style. I know that the Chanel 19 is not for everyone. Like the Chanel 19, although I think it's a beautiful bag and I love it on other people, I don't think it really matches my personal style. It's just like got a bit too much going on for me. So it doesn't really work for me. I don't think I'm cool enough for it, but I know a lot of you all love it. So I think that the Chanel 19 bag is one that you should definitely consider getting in the near future. So those are the details about the price increase. Now, separately from that, what are my thoughts on this price increase? I mean, I'm sick of it. Like, I'm tired of the price increases happening. I think that Chanel has taken it a little bit too far. I think that 3 price increases in 1 year is like extortionate, honestly. I think it's too much. But to that token, I also recognize that there are a lot of different reasons, I think, why Chanel is doing these price increases, and they're a business. Like, I know you all have seen that like TikTok song, like, businesses don't owe us affordability. Chanel doesn't owe us affordability. It is a luxury brand and it always has been. So they're welcome to price as they please. And as long as they are happy with the number of bags they are selling, that's fine. Like, I just have sour grapes that I can't really afford any of them. Not that I can't, but honestly, I mean, I think that with these price increases now kind of to the level that they're at, there are a lot of people who have, like, they're just straight pissed. Like, they're mad, they're angry with Chanel, and they are like, no, I will not be buying anymore. Out of principle, like I don't think the bags are worth it. I don't think the quality is up there. And so I am not gonna buy those bags anymore. Which, like, mad respect, good for you for having like principles that you stand on. For me, it's actually not that serious. Like, I'm not mad at Chanel. I think personally, their business, they're welcome to price as they please, like I've said. But for me, I personally don't find their bags worth like a $10,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 price point. Like, to me, it's too expensive for what they are. So other than maybe like a Coco handle, or like, you know, like if I was ever able to get my hands on a mini, which is never gonna happen in San Francisco. I mean, other than those, I mean, in terms of like the classic bags, like I'm really not gonna be buying anymore. So I will say it's kind of freeing in a way. Like, for those of you that have been along with me on the Chanel journey this year, you know that I just started buying Chanel last year. I stocked up on a ton of bags due to price increases this year. And a lot of y'all said I was crazy. I mean, a lot of you said I was very smart, but a couple of you all said I was crazy. And I am very glad I stocked up on the bags that I did, because honestly, I am really happy with my collection. I'm very grateful to have, you know, a number of Chanel bags. I really like the ones that I have. I wear them all like in different rotations. So I'm really happy with my collection. Would I want more? Yes. But honestly, like, I feel like no matter how many Chanel bags I got, there would always be like just one more, right? Just one more or two on my list. So I feel like I would have always said that no matter how many bags I was able to get. I don't think I would ever like cut it and say, okay, I'm done. I don't need any more bags. Because I am, you know, like a bag enthusiast, a bag lover. So it's kind of freeing that like now that I have recognized like a lot of the bags I want are just out of my price range, I'm just gonna start, you know, like looking at other bags. There are lots of other styles and brands that have been on my wish list for a while. Chanel also has like great seasonal bags, so I'm gonna start looking at more of those. And so honestly, it's just gonna help me like increase, you know, the diversity in my collection, and, you know, start like just really like falling back in love with a lot of my other bags that I have, and, you know, other bags that I've been wanting. You know, I can put my focus there. And they are a heck of a lot cheaper too. Other than like the Hermes ones, like these ones are like a fraction of the cost. So, you know, honestly, I mean, although I'm upset about it, although I'm frustrated by it, and I do think that Chanel's being a little bit extra, like I said, I understand. I mean, we've talked about it before on this channel, but like Chanel is and always has been like a top tier luxury brand. But, you know, they have really saturated the market. They really have made their bags, I think, quite accessible over the years. And I think they're nervous about, you know, oversaturating the market, making their bags too commonplace, too everyday. So I do think that they're trying to, you know, increase, you know, their brand perception by being more expensive. I think that price is an indicator. Like, we as people, we look to price as a signal of like the quality and the exclusivity, and like, do we or do we not want something? Price is an indicator of that. So I think that Chanel is trying to make themselves like a bit more high end, because a lot of their competitors, you know, up until like the past year or two, were actually quite similar in price. Now Chanel has like definitely put a big gap there. But I think Chanel is also really increasing the money that they're bringing in. I know that a lot of us are saying like, I won't buy Chanel anymore, it's too expensive, or I can't afford it, or I won't pay for it, you know, whatever it is. But most businesses make like 80% of their money off of like the top 20% of their customers. It's that 80-20 rule. Like, if you're not familiar with it, just do a quick Google search so you can learn about it. It is applicable in every aspect of business. Back when I was a shoe buyer, I made over 80% of my money on 20% of my styles. So don't get me wrong, I'd buy all these other like fashionable, like more seasonal styles, but like the core bread and butter, the basics, the same everyday shoes were the ones that kept selling really well. So similarly, Chanel, in terms of their customers, I mean, like, I am a regular everyday person. You may or may not be. You may be, like we've talked about, like a big baller. If you are, I'm so jealous, please adopt me. Or become like my sugar daddy, my sugar uncle, my sugar auntie, anything. I would really appreciate that, so I can stop working so hard. That just made me lose my train of thought. But like Chanel's customer base, they are made up of some heavy hitters, right? And so I would say that 80% of Chanel sales is probably coming from 20% of their customers, and they really don't care if a classic flap is $7,000, $10,000, $12,000. To them, it's indifferent. I could be wrong, but I mean, the 80-20 rule, like, it has been true in just about like every place that I've worked in terms of managing a business. So I'm sure that they are still making tons of money off of those customers. And so even though we can't buy like our little onesies and twosies, like our one-off like lifelong bag, they're still making their money. But also on that note, I do think it's really unfortunate because something about like top tier luxury brands is that they're aspirational. Like how many of you either are currently or remember saving up over the course of years for your first Chanel bag? Like that feeling of like, I just can't wait to buy something I wanted forever. You've worked so hard, you've been saving your money. Like these bags aren't cheap. I mean, they weren't cheap last year. They're definitely not gonna be cheap, next year. So like it takes a while to save up for them for the majority of people. And I think it's really unfortunate because I've heard a lot of stories about people who are saving, and they're just about ready to buy their first bag. And then a price increase hits and it's now out of reach for them. I think that's really unfortunate because I do think like, everyone should be able to like get their one dream bag. I don't think like you just handbags out willy-nilly, but I think everyone should be able to get one. And just with all those price increases, I think a lot of people are not going to be able to get their dream bag. And that's really sad. Like, I think that's unfortunate. And I think that, Chanel has been turning some people away, lifelong customers. And I think that's just a shame that like certain people are turning their backs on a brand that they love. I still love Chanel. We stan Chanel here on this channel. So like, I'm definitely going to keep shopping there, but I'm just going to have to buy other things that I think are worth the price. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'm really curious. I remember the last price increase, a lot of people had a lot of different opinions to share. So like definitely like let's start a conversation down in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you all are thinking. And also for any of you all that are running out and panic buying, let me know if you've got anything. Like I want to celebrate with you because like it's a good feeling to get a bag before the price increase goes into effect. So thank you all so much for watching. I seriously hope that you found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you could just give it a little like, just hit that little thumbs up down in the corner below. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to my channel so that way you can get all the latest information about all things shopping, including all things Chanel delivered straight to you. And don't forget to turn on notifications. My name is Lily. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye everyone.